Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about Star Wars Unlimited, and I'm going to be talking to you about the pre-release today. And I'm gonna, so this is, as you'll have gathered from the title, I did quite well at mine. I went 8-0, so the context for that is it was a 4-round tournament, but it was best of 3. So I went 8-0 and I didn't drop a single game. And I was able to do that, I think, by really leaning into some of the most important aspects of a sealed environment, and I'm going to expand on that in the second half of the video. I'm going to tell you exactly how I was able to just go completely undefeated, and what my matchups were. But what I'll tell you to begin with is I played Leia. I played Leia with a 30 HP blue base, and I played against Darth Vader, Tarkin, Boba, and Darth Vader. So I was not playing against bad leaders. I wasn't just getting lucky. I think that's, goes to show that yes, Leia is obviously, I think, widely considered to be a very good leader for this format. But everyone is playing good leader, so I think there's a lot more that is going into it than just like, did you pull the best leader you could. So what I'm going to start off by doing is showing you all my pulls. And something that I want to caveat here is I haven't sorted these 100% perfectly, but these are my pulls from one, my 6 packs that I got for entering the pre-release as part of the pre-release kit. 2, the 5 packs I won. And actually, the vast majority of my good cards came from those 5 packs, which I'll show you. I'll be able to point out the major hits from those. And then I also bought 2 more pre-release kits, which rounded, 5 packs. 6 entry packs. 6 packs I got for prizing, and 1 was for entry. And then I bought 2 more to just round it out to a full box. So this is basically a box worth of pulls, but in the context of pre-release. So firstly, I'm just going to show you my leaders and bases, alt arts and stuff. So in terms of leaders, I got 2 of the rare Cassian, 1 Chirrut, 1 Han Solo, 1 Palpatine. So these are all the base rarity ones. Now on top of that, I also got 1 hyperspace Palpatine. So 6 rare leaders. And on top of that, then I also got 1 hyperspace Sabine, a hyperspace Chewie, a hyperspace Krennic, and a hyperspace Leia. So you get quite a good number of hyperspaces in a box, and I think if you are someone who's just trying to get every card they can in hyperspace rarity, that should be fairly straightforward. In terms of bases, I got 3 Echo Base and 1 Capital City, which I thought was quite funny, that there wasn't that much variance there. But there we go. Okay, so that's the boring stuff. So next, I'm going to show you all of the rares I got, and then I will do some of the more exciting stuff. So in terms of the rares, I got 1 Heroic Sacrifice, 2 for Cause I Believe In, 1 Fallen Lightsaber, 2 Red 3, 1 Palpatine, done Miko, double Obi-Wan, 1 Redemption, Bail Organa, Frontline Shuttle, Emperor's Royal Guard, U-Wing Reinforcement, and double Traitorous. And then Jabba, strafing. So you can see you actually don't get that many rares in a box, because obviously it's basically 1 per pack, but slightly less because, well, about 1 per pack, because you'll get some extra ones from hyperspaces or foils, but less due to the legendary slot. So those are the rares that I got from the box. Some additional hyperspaces. I got an Inferno 4, a Vanquish, Ardent Sympathizer, Imperial Interceptor, Aussie Tuck, Liberated Gunship, TIE Advanced, ATST, Rebel Pathfinder, Alliance X-Wing, Underworld Thug, and Frontier 8080. So those are all of the nice little hyperspaces I got, and I'll be using all of those. I think they're all pretty good. Okay, let's get on to the exciting stuff. What legendaries did I get? I didn't get any foil legends, and I didn't get any hyperspace legends. I just got base rarity. So I got a black one. Was really sad about this because I think this is the worst legendary. I would have taken literally anything else in red. I got 1 command, and this was great. Okay, so the black one, this was from prize packs. The command, this was from one of the extra pre-release kits I bought. I had 1 web entry, 1 set of 6 packs that was prize packs, and then 2 other pre-release boxes. One of the pre-release boxes had absolutely nothing, like nothing, literally nothing. There was no legends, no anything. And then this was in the other one. Avenger, as another legend, was also part of my prize pack, so I got both of these in those 6 prize packs. And then Luke is what I got in my pre-release pulls. So I was able to use Luke, and I dropped him almost like, you know, probably 3 or 4 times, and because I would hard filter for him, and the card is absolutely outstanding. Really, really powerful. So those are the legends I got. So it was those 4. Then let's have a look at the foils, because I'm sure you'll care about those. So foil rare Han Solo, Outer Rim Headquarters, 2 Smuggling Apartments. You can see this one is a hyperspace foil, which I have to say does look really quite fantastic. We've got Academy Training, Vanguard Inventory, Advantage, Strike True, Colonel Yularen, Bright Hope. Bright Hope ended up putting in quite a lot of work in the format. Ardent Sympathizer, this card is crazy, though I didn't use it. Occupier Siege Tank, Starring Scout. Force Throw, I got this in my prize packs, which I was also like super excited about because this is such a cool piece of artwork. Scout Bike Pursuer, Cargo Juggernaut, there's another hyperspace foil, so so you got 2 hyperspace foils here, plus another one here. Cloud City Wingguard, and Inferno 4. And then let's pack up these so I can show you the remaining ones. Because this is about half of the foils I got. But I only want the one rare foil, which was Han Solo. I also got Rebel Pathfinder ×2, Snowspeeder, General Dodonna. I also got 1 hyperspace foil maximum firepower and a Corellian freighter. So you can see you're not actually getting that many hyperspace foils in a box. You know, like it is really not that many. And finally, I think, you know, we have to show really the big pull. I got a hyperspace Boba Fett in my prize packs, and this was absolutely the creme de la creme moment. And I have to say, so I'm going to try and hold it up to the camera so you can see it without there being awful glare. I'm going to take it out of the case. That's probably a bit easier so you can see it. Oh, come on, come out. This is a real professional production. There we go. So here is the Boba Fett. Sorry, here is the Boba Fett. So it looks really nice. I will say it does look very nice. I think the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. It does look really, really, really good. However, as someone who plays Bandai games, I think the foiling in Star Wars Unlimited is really nothing special, which sucks. I think that you know, this card is really quite expensive. I think from what I've seen, it's like $1,000 at the moment, and I can, you know, I'm sure that'll crash, but I can see it, you know, ending up being around that much. So I think it is a bit of a shame that the cards don't have a particularly special foiling, but the artwork is gorgeous. They look really good. They do look good. Certainly, I mean, these are the best looking cards in the game. Not even close. And the fact I got a Boba Fett was amazing because this is absolutely one of the leaders I was interested in playing. If I was going to get a showcase, I wanted Boba or Thrawn as like my tier 2 pick, and my tier 1 pick was Palpatine, so was really happy with Boba. Absolutely no complaints whatsoever. Getting a showcase is amazing. So that is what I got from my prizes. As I said, I went 8-0 into some pretty meta leaders. So now I'm going to go over to Facecam and screen share, and I'm just going to talk through some general tips. So the first tip I have is do not be precious about what you play. I think if you are going in and you're trying to win a lot of games in a pre-release, which I mean you clearly are if you're watching this video, you can't go in and just being like, oh, I'm only going to play Luke, I'm only going to play Darth Vader, I'm only going to play whoever. Because one, if it's not exclusively Luke or Darth Vader, you might not get them. And two, that is a really bad way to do it because you really need to do your deck based on the cards you get. And it was really frustrating because I saw like people there who, like, I looked through their card pool after and I was like, why were you playing this? Like I saw someone playing 1 space unit because they really wanted to play Green Vader and their blue pool had loads of space units, and I was like, you have just basically guaranteed that you cannot win against anyone who has a good number of space units or who just commits to space, right? Like it's not a smart way to do things. So the number one thing you need to do is just go in with an open mind and let your card pulls dictate what you play. The second tip I'm going to say is related to that. Your rare cards and your legendaries are obviously extremely important. They are not the most important thing. The most important thing is your commons and uncommons. Yeah, you might have pulled Darth Vader. But if you don't have any good green and black cards besides Darth Vader, it is not worth playing Darth Vader, because you're just not going to have the rest of the deck that's even going to let you get to that turn. Okay, so that's the second tip. The third tip I'm going to say, and I think this is probably one of the more helpful ones, is in order to aid you when you set this out, when you're building your deck, is to create a grid. So what I did is I had several different columns. So along the top I had yellow, blue, red, and green, and because those are the four colors, in the game that can appear like anywhere. And then along the bottom, along the left, I had white and I had black, and then I created the grid of like, okay, well, all my mono red, all my mono blue, blah, 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 go along the top. All my mono black, all my mono white go along the side. And then I populate the grid. And what that's going to let you do is it's going to let you immediately assess where you have a lot of cards and where you're like massively lacking. The next thing you want to do is look at the leaders you have access to. Now, the beautiful thing about this is Luke and Vader are both very, very good. So if you have got any decent kind of white, blue, or black, red pool, like even remotely decent, you can pretty freely just play one of them and you're probably going to do fine. So that is something that when you have that grid set up, you are just more likely to be able to come up with something half decent. The next thing I would say, and I think one of the things that really helped me win a lot of games, was just like have a little look at the common and uncommon card pool. It actually doesn't matter if you're going to get like, you know, if someone is going to hit like late game, like the rares and the legendaries are usually bigger late game bombs, and like kind of anything you play, like if you manage to like play like 6, 7, 8 like on curve, it kind of doesn't matter what they are, you're probably going to win. So don't like worry about it. Focus on like what you're going to be seeing in almost every single game, and understand like what might come up so you can play around it when you see your opponent's colors, right? Like don't do things like play into a bombing run. I did this. I didn't make the mistake, but I saw my opponent was playing red, black Vader in my final round, and I was like, he's playing a double aspect red. So I know that there's some pretty powerful cards in there. For example, aggression. So immediately I go, okay, he's probably pulled aggression, so I should be wary of that card. And I'm going, okay, well, he's clearly heavily leaning into red. He's probably got some of those really powerful removal tools, like the 3-cost burn 4, the 2-cost burn 5, and bombing run, the 5-cost deal 3 to all the units in a zone. So this is one of the things where you just have to be aware of things that might be coming your way and try not to play into them. Those are some of my major tips. The other thing I would say is don't be afraid to tinker. Certainly at my local, at my store, you were allowed to chop and change your pre-release deck in between rounds if you felt certain cards weren't going your way and you felt certain cards would be more helpful depending on what other people were playing. So that was fine. The next tip I would say, and I think this is a really big one, is in terms of your deck building, these are about the ratios I followed and I found them to work really, really well. I would say you want between 5 and 8 space. And if you're not able to, like, across, like, the curve spectrum, right? So maybe you want 1 8-cost or 7-cost, 1 7-cost, 1 6-cost. No more than 3 big things. Probably 2. And then you want a couple 5s, a couple 4s, more 3s and more 2s. And you want to have at least, like, 6 to 8, 5 to 8 of those space units. And if you can't get that in your color combo, play something else. In terms of ground units, I'd say you want about 20, 18 to 20. Depending on the colors you're playing and the events you have access to. Because if you've got access to some really powerful events like Waylay, like Power of the Dark Side, all of these really, really powerful events that let you interact with your opponent's board in an impactful way, you want to be squeezing those in, but not at the expense of losing access to like your units, right? Which is what's really going to win you the game. The next thing I'd say is obviously build based around the leader, right? Like, for example, if you're playing, like I played against, I saw a Leia player who was playing Leia blue, playing Leia yellow, but playing almost no rebels because they clearly didn't get like that many good rebels, or certainly not that many rebels in yellow or in green. Maybe they had them in blue or maybe they had them in red, but they didn't have them in those colors. So the Leia effect actually wasn't really doing very much. It was just a leader that deployed early. And at that point, I'm just sort of sitting there going like, well, what's the point, right? If your leader's not really going to be getting you value, you should maybe look at a different leader. There's lots of ways to get the color combinations you want. There's usually at least one, like two, usually from your pulls. So make sure that you're actually going to be able to get some value out of your leader ability. And the final thing I would say is just take your time, think things through. Having initiative is really important, and sometimes you just want to like, you know what, it's okay, I don't need to do this extra 2 damage, because having the initiative is going to be so valuable for me on my next turn that that's fine. I would much rather claim. Claiming the initiative was always so important. The other thing I would say is consistency actually is really quite high in a 30 card deck like format. So that's something where if you've got a 2 or a 3 of, you're probably going to see it. And if you mulligan, even for a 1 of, you're going through 12 cards in the deck, like just to see it in your opening hand. That's quite a few. You are probably going to, like, you've got a pretty good odds of seeing it. And if you've got 2 copies of that card, you've got really good odds of seeing it. So just be aware of that, right? Like if you're really looking for like something in the early game that you just have to see, just throw your hand away and try and find it. The final thing I would say is to do with cost curve. And you just want to be really having lots of 2s, 3s, and 4s. That's where you want most of your cost curve to be, because you can always fill in the gaps with those sorts of units. Yes, you want to be having your 6s, 7s, and 8s, but you don't want that many of them, because, you know, when you get one, it's going to be sitting in your hand for a while, right? Like probably 4 or 5 turns until you're able to play it. So you don't actually need that many. You're going to go through a lot of cards in your deck. You're going to go through half your deck by the time you're actually able to play them. So, you know, it's fine to not have a huge number of them. And finally, final top tip, if you can play green, I'd really recommend playing green. Like the ability to ramp in a sealed environment where consistency is extremely high because you're drawing a metric ton of cards every single turn. Well, you're drawing a lot of cards every single turn. Your deck is quite small, and you're able to, like, obviously mulligan, so your consistency is increased. The swing that deploying a leader turn early gets you is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that I was able to just be slamming stuff down just ahead of my opponent, and keep claiming, because when I started playing my big bombs, like basically before that, right, I hit 5 first, so I would play my 5, I would deploy layer, better example is 6, I'd play my 6, and I would claim, right, or I'd swing with layer, play 6, claim, right. I'm not doing that much. My opponent's probably doing more than me, but the fact that I get able to keep claiming, I keep able to be going first. I found that when I got to the final 4 or 5 turns of the game, I was basically always going first because I was just playing out big bombs, and I was like making sure to prioritize having the initiative because that is going to let you close out games. My final game, my final round, I had done 10 damage the whole game. It hits, and I deployed my layer on 6 resource turn. Next turn, it's 7 resource. I played down Luke on my 7 resource turn, and I'd done like a grand total of 10 damage, right? Next turn, swing Leia, swing Luke, deal 10 damage. Play down my the big ship that just healed everything off of them. Put it all on it. I didn't care about it if it died. Claim initiative. I've done 3 actions, right? Double swing, play, claim. It's so hard for your opponent to do like anything even remotely like that, especially against those. I was against Darth Vader, so he's trying to deploy on the same turn I'm doing that because I'm 1 mana ahead, right? 1 resource ahead. So there was absolutely 0 chance of him like ever claiming before me, and if he did claim before me, he was at a massive disadvantage. And then the next turn I just went, cool, swing 10, GG. And this is the sort of thing that you can do when you've just got like the initiative. You're able to just secure damage and secure lethal. And it's just so important, I think. So, like, really prioritize the initiative. But those are my tips. Let me know if you found this useful. I really, really like this game. I think Star Wars Unlimited is an amazing game. I'm super excited for it. I know I've got a lot of decks I want to be playing. Number 1 is probably Vader or Palpatine. Like, they're both at that sort of level. Thrawn, I'm absolutely, like, that is my pet deck. I will make that guy good. And, of course, I think now that I have this, I am legally obligated to be a Boba main. So I will be playing lots of Boba Fett, which to be fair is looking like it's pretty damn good. So there are worse decks to be playing. But there we go. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to the channel for lots more Star Wars Unlimited content. And I hope to see you guys next time. Cheers.